It to the final 16 at the 2026 FIFA World Cup, becoming nation number 12 at the expense of Luka Modric, who has definitely played his final fixture at the FIFA World Cup, and Croatia themselves. That is the situation. Then Africa, a couple of spots have already been confirmed, but 4 more nations to decide to wrap up that round of 16. What a fixture then coming your way this very evening. And I'm quite sure everyone has enjoyed it, whichever way you look at it. Sean Bartlett is with me in studio. Baby Jet is here as well.
And I think the biggest decision of this game was from Coach Martinez taking off Ronaldo.
Yeah.
We were all wondering when it's going to happen, and that was the main difference between winning this game and not winning.
All right, we shall come back to that Cristiano Ronaldo debate quite shortly and see how Portugal changed how they approach that fixture towards the final few moments. But Asamoah Gyan, Ronaldo stays at the FIFA World Cup. So do Portugal. Real heartbreak out in Zagreb this morning.
Yes, for me, my heart goes to Croatia. You know, the way they live in the World Cup with one of the best generations they've ever had. You know, talking about Modric, Kovacic, I think this should be their last World Cup. You could see the disappointment in their faces and the emotions. They played very well in the second half. You know, they created some chances. They scored an offside goal. They missed a couple of chances. And as Sean said, Portugal was tactically sound today. The coach, Martinez, did a wonderful change that brought the difference into the game. So I think it was a balanced game in the
biggest party, and we shall be discussing more of that journey a bit later. Pomutso Manenze, there's so much to discuss in terms of that disallowed goal in the closing seconds that had everyone celebrating. But the rules are the rules.
The rules are the rules, and it's always important for the refereeing team to apply the rules properly. After everybody had celebrated to say that is the equalizer, it was going to be a point of discussion either way, because then the questions were going to be about the 2.5 or 3 minutes, extra minutes that was played. It was going to be a top of mind in terms of the discussion when people waking up seeing the equalizer was 2.5 or 3 minutes later. But then you look at the goal go in, and a lot of people are asking themselves questions to say, why was the goal disallowed? And the laws of the game are very clear that the last touch, if the defender is not intentionally playing the ball,
right,
then it's offside. If he tries to play the ball, then it's onside. So for us,
flip that ball out. But obviously the conclusion from the referee, Iskas Ispen, who by the way is a man from Norway, he really had to stand on the money. He had to bring all his experience out. What a decision. Can you imagine, Short Bartlett, the weight of that decision on the referee's career moving forward?
Well, that's why we have VAR, isn't it? That's why technology has come in handy here tonight, and we had the opportunity, and he had the opportunity to go and look for a second time, because nobody knew definitive that actually what happened. Did he attempt to? Was it accidental?
Yeah.
Like Pomutso has mentioned, offside. And unfortunately for people in Zagreb, unfortunately for Croatia, but I think the referee applied the rules.
Yeah, only 2 games in the round of 32 had made it to extra time, and we're very close to a 3rd game in there, Asamoah Gyan. To be fair, it seemed Croatia all through towards the end, certainly looking for that equalizer. Portugal, though, will take a couple of positives from this one of which is making it to the next round. Yes,
I think Portugal would take a lot of positives from this one. I think they got away with it today. For me, second half, Croatia was a bit ahead, you know, in terms of possession and creating a lot of chances. Going into the next game, they should tighten a bit of their defense. And also the coach, the changes that he made, I think if he had made it a bit earlier, would have even helped Portugal more. So I'm sure the coach will have a thought about it.
All right, there was so much drama and so much action suddenly in both boxes. Pomutso Manenze, over to you. We discussed everything Livakovic in that first half, the Croatian goalkeeper powering everything away.
And in a tournament, as he said, when you have a good goalkeeper, good defense, and you don't concede, that is where you progress. And the goalkeeper Costa has made I think this is much of his life, one of the best games he has ever had.
All right, big saves then. 5 of those, to be honest, for Diogo Costa. And there was still so much more suddenly in that second half. I'm quite sure you guys have loved this game, haven't you? This is how dramatic the last 32 is. So imagine how competitive the last 16 will be. But then, let's look at the goals. And I'll start with you, Sean.
Perisic, individual brilliance, great goal by all standards.
Yeah, Pumuto, at halftime, our biggest discussion point was how many times Portugal were going out wide and then crossing into the area and not being very successful. Croatia, though, on this very occasion, being very successful. How do you wrap up that movement, specifically by Perisic?
A great goal to break a record. His 7th goal in the World Cup, which is a record now. Schuka's record is broken. He had 6. He's on 7 now, Perisic. When you go to the moment and look at this on Perisic, he's going to go on and score the goal in this moment. He sees that Portugal are not balanced in this moment. Cancelo, the man that's supposed to pick him up, he's behind him. That is the back 4 of Portugal in this moment. Let's look at the front 3 of Croatia in this moment. It's a 3v3 situation because of the quick throw-in coming from viral Stanic in this moment. He realizes that there's a space out wide that he can attack on the blind side. Now, Leao is not aware of the run. He had looked at the overlapping run once again to create a numerical advantage, making in this moment Butrania. He makes a run just in front back post because of 37 getting that lead for Croatia. Well taken goal.
And he started the whole thing with that quick throw-in.
Right.
Like you mentioned, you know, with Portugal not being balanced, and he just picked up the ball and quickly took the throw-in, and at the end, he found himself in the box. So, again, it shows you that awareness and game intelligence when it's needed.
Yeah, so Pumuso, still with you for a second, because the rules are, if you're a left back, if you're a right back, and the cross is coming into the area, you've got to know who is exactly behind you. So it's the numerical advantage then that confuses that Portuguese backline, isn't it?
What we speak about for any fullbacks watching is that you need to be open stance.
Right.
When we say open stance, you need to see where the ball is coming from. That is the ball. Then you need to have a reference of the opponent that you're picking up. You need to be open stance, see the ball, and be able to see your opponent. In that moment, loss of concentration from Cancelo. He closes away from where Perisic is. He only focuses on the ball. And when he misjudges the flight of the ball, then Perisic is on the far post to punish.
Big result, big moment certainly in there then for Croatia. But Rafael Leao was the man who certainly had the biggest chance next.
Individual brilliance, what a kill. Rather unfortunate the ball didn't enter, but yeah, that was a good one.
Very unfortunate that did not come off the goalkeeper in the end. So it was all Portugal then. They were really attacking. A place in the next round was up for grabs until, but I don't care what you say. He's on the score sheet and still getting his nation to the next round. Simple as that.
Emotionally intelligent. It's a pressure moment. It needs an experienced player that has been in those situations now and again. And he stands up as the captain and the leader of this team and says, he has an opportunity to score goal number 21 at a World Cup, and he stands up and he puts it in the back of the net.
All right, let's look at the one moment then that seems now to have been the most decisive in that fixture, suddenly out in Toronto, because the man, if you follow Trump...
Two centre defenders, uses his body and holding of the one, and he just gets a little bit of elevation above both in order to get the ball on target.
Intelligent ball into the box, because everybody's expecting Leao to do what he's been doing throughout the first 45, the step overs and go on the outside. But in this instance, he cut it inside. He plays that half cross. And I'm sitting with two legendary strikers. Yeah. We call it hang time. Ramos gets a little bit of hang time, and he missed the ball in the highest point, and he puts it in the back of the net. It's very difficult, but that hang time, he goes up, and it just seems like he stays up for a second or two, and that's why he gets the edge over the defenders, puts it in the back of the net.
So he's meeting the ball at the highest point. Right. That's the important thing with the hang time. When you meet it at the highest point, the defenders obviously still have to get off the ground. You can see by the replay that he's already up there, and the two defenders are trying to jump at the same time. So that advantage is always beneficial, because most defenders wait for the ball to come down.
Yeah. At time, that was my advantage.
Right.
You know, I can suspend it there, like jump 1 second before the ball comes. That is why I don't blame the defenders. That is a striker's goal. You know, they did everything. You know, they brought him in between them, closed the space for him not to jump back. That is individual brilliance. That is why I credit the striker than blaming the defenders.
But Pumunso, let me just add something small to that. If you look at, because I love the word hang time. I really love the word hang time in studio this morning. He goes up, and that ball is still really high. So he's looking for just a touch, but we must give him credit because there's a direction issue to sort in there.
When you're in the position of the Croatian coach, all you're looking for is body contact. You're looking for shoulder, just to imbalance him in his jump. But because there is no contact, he gets that hang time. And when he's hanging in the air, the key thing is he meets the ball at the highest point. Because when you don't get that contact when you're jumping, it means the defenders are waiting for the ball to drop. And he meets it at the highest point, he gets the hang time, puts it in the back of the net. From a defender's point of view, you would say, what lacked in that move is the contact. Because even if you don't get to the ball, but if you jump and contest and make sure that you imbalance the attacker, you make sure that doesn't header the ball where he wants to take it, but clinical finish.
You can be very sure Goncalo Ramos will be on the front and back pages of all Portuguese newspapers this morning. He, without a doubt, is the hero. Takes them to the next round. 51% of the possession they had in the end as compared to that 39. And look at that for attempts on goal. Sean Bartlett, 15 to 13. A busy, busy morning.
But more importantly is the on target from Croatia, which means Costa had an unbelievable game like we spoke about it. And he kept Portugal in this game and eventually got them the win.
All right, great stuff. There you are. It's done and dusted. Portugal, nation number 12 in the final 16 at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Now you understand Africa. While we are saying everything can wait, there is drama in every single fixture, and we are very happy to obviously bring you all of the action wherever you're joining us from. There's more action coming your way then. Oh, it's a busy one for us, guys, isn't it? There you are. We are moving from Toronto and going straight to Vancouver as Switzerland take on Algeria, who are looking to be the other African nation in the next round. And that means Africa, Sean Bartlett, Asamoah Gyan, Pumutso Manenze, and myself will be joining you in exactly 30 minutes from now for the big build-up to the next one. The battles are on, and they are all live. Asante sana. Stick with us.